皆さんおはようございます。こんにちは、こんばんは。Welcome to the Easy Japanese News Article of the Day for July 23rd, 2026. 2026年7月23日の今日の記事でございます。For our article headline today, we have 熱中症に気をつけて。1週間で1万人が病院に運ばれた。For the vocab in the headline, we have 熱中症 which is heat stroke, getting too hot. 熱中症。気をつける to be careful or to take caution. 病院 hospital and 運ぶ to carry or to transport something or someone. Okay, jumping back into our headline, we have 熱中症に気をつけて. So 熱中症, that is our heat stroke. And then we use the particle に with the phrase 気をつける to be careful or to watch out for, take caution about. And then that is in the te form. So 気をつける to be careful, to watch out for something. The te form here, that's a command. Please be careful. About or for 熱中症 heat stroke. So watch out for heat stroke. 1週間で So 1週間 we can see 1 week and period if we break those kanji down. So in a period of 1 week. And this de is kind of that in 1 week. The particle de we're using here. And then 1万人. 1万 is 10,000 and nin is people, our counter. Ga, it's our subject, so they're going to do something or be something. And in this case, they are going to be 病院に. So 病院 is the hospital. Ni is our particle meaning to. And then 運ばれた. So 運ぶ is to carry something or to transport something. We are putting that in the passive form. 運ばれる to be carried. So 運ぶ to carry, 運ばれる to be carried. And then that is in the past tense. So 運ばれた. Someone was carried. And who was carried? That's what the ga is marking here. So 10,000 people. 1万人が病院に運ばれた. So 10,000 people were carried to the hospital in 1 week, which is why we are watching out for heat stroke, 熱中症. And here is the rest of the vocab from our article. We have 総務省消防庁, which is the Fire and Disaster Management Agency. If you ever needed a tongue twister, you can go with that one. 総務省消防庁. And then 以上 is something or more or something on above. So this will attach to a number or an amount. So something 以上, something or more or something or above. Then we have by. This is times. So like we are timesing something by an amount. So 3倍 would be 3 times as much. And we have 増える to increase. なくなる is to pass away or to die. 涼しい is cool, like a temperature, and this is a good feeling. So 寒い is kind of negative, meaning cold, but 涼しい means cool, like it feels good. And then we have 乾く, which is for something to dry or to get dry. 飲む to drink. 休む to rest or to take a break. And 回. This is a counter for a number of times, like the number of times something happens or something is done.
日本のいろいろなところで熱中症になる人が増えています。総務省消防庁によると、今月19日までの1週間に熱中症で病院に運ばれた人は1万人以上でした。前の週の2倍以上ですごく増えています。病院に運ばれた人の中で14人が亡くなりました。6700人ぐらいが65歳以上の人でした。エアコンを使って涼しくしてください。喉が渇いていなくても水を飲んでください。外で仕事をするときは何回も休むようにしてください。
All right, let's jump right into our article.
日本のいろいろなところで熱中症になる人が増えています。
Okay, so 日本 Japan, 日本の something of Japan. いろいろ is a na adjective, which is why we have a na here that connects to ところ. So いろいろな means various, and we're connecting to ところ here, which is place. So いろいろなところ, various places. And then with that no, 日本のいろいろなところ or 日本のいろいろなところ in various places in Japan, and then this particle で is kind of like our in these various places, tells us our location where something's happening. And we have 熱中症, which is heat stroke again. になる, ni is our particle ni with なる. It tells us something is becoming something. So 熱中症になる, someone who got heat stroke. In Japanese, you say became heat stroke, but basically the same thing, right? So got heat stroke, 熱中症になる. And then 人, and 人 is person. And then when we have a phrase that connects directly into a noun in Japanese, that's called modifying that noun. So we are talking about hito, people that got heat stroke or suffered from heat stroke. And then these people, hito ga, is our subject particles. So they're going to do or be something. And that verb they are going to do is fueru, which is to increase, fueru. And then because this is an ongoing thing, it is increasing currently, we will use the te iru form of the verb. So the te form plus iru is how we say something is continuously happening. So the number of people that are getting heat stroke is increasing in various places in Japan. 日本のいろいろなところで熱中症になる人が増えています。
総務省消防庁によると、今月19日までの1週間に熱中症で病院に運ばれた人は1万人以上でした。
OK、総務省消防庁によると、そう、総務省消防庁。That is the name. That's the name of that agency that I forgot. It is the Fire and Disaster Management Agency. I'll see if I can remember that. So the Fire and Disaster Management Agency, sorry. 総務省消防庁によると, so によると, we attach this to a noun to say according to. So according to the Fire and Disaster Management Agency. Right. はい。7月19日まで. So 7月 is going to be the 7th month if we look at that kanji, which is July. And then 19日 is going to be the 17th. まで is up to that point. So 7月19日まで up to July 19th. And then if we want to connect to another noun, we use no. And then 1週間. So 1週間, we saw this in our headline. We have a period of 1 week. 1週間. And then this ni is saying in that period of 1 week. Up to the July 19th. 熱中症で, so 熱中症 heat stroke で due to 熱中症 they can also be due to something. And then 病院に運ばれた. So we saw this in our headline as well. 病院に to a hospital. And 運ばれた to be carried. 運ぶ to carry in the passive form. 運ばれる. And then the past tense 運ばれた. And then 人, which is people. So people who were carried to the hospital due to being or having heat stroke. は our main topic or framework here. 1万人 10,000 people 以上 or more than 10,000 people. And then でした, which is our was, right? Coming from です in the past tense. So, according to the Fire and Disaster Management Agency, in the 1 week leading up to July 19th, the number of people that were transported to a hospital due to having heat stroke was 10,000 or more.
前の週の2倍以上ですごく増えています。
Okay, so 前 is previous or before. So 前の週 would be the previous week. Once again, we have nouns here that are connected with no, saying the previous noun is describing the one that comes after us. So 前の週, the previous week, no, something of the previous week, 2倍. So 2倍, this by means times, so 2倍means 2 times. And when we connect that to 前の週, that means the previous week. So 2 times as much as the previous week. And then we have 以上 again, so more than 2 times the amount of the previous week. And then で here is kind of like the て form of です. So we're saying we want to say this and something else. So this amount that we were talking about in the previous sentence, this 10,000 or more people, is 2 times or more greater than that of the previous week. 前の週の2倍以上で. And すごく増えています. So すごく comes from すごい, but when we attach a verb after it, we can use すごく if something is happening in a すごい manner. So amazingly or outstandingly or crazy or in a large way. And then 増えています. Once again, 増える to increase in the ている form because this is currently still increasing. So, the number of people who were carried to the hospital due to having heat stroke were 10,000 or more. This was twice as much as the previous week, or twice as much or more as the previous week. And it is increasing a lot. すごく増えています。
病院に運ばれた人の中で14人が亡くなりました。
Okay. 病院に運ばれた人の中で. So once again, we have 病院に運ばれた人. This is our third time, so I'll just kind of brush over it. From among the people who were carried to the hospital. And then this の中で. Naka can mean inside, but it can also be like within a group. So that's what's going on here within this group of people that were carried to the hospital. And this で is just saying in that group, 中で14人, 14 people が our subject, they're going to do something, and that verb is 亡くなりました. So 亡くなる is to pass away or to die. We put that in the mas form, past tense, to be formal and to say it already happened. So from among the people carried to the hospital, 14 of them died. So over 10,000 were carried to the hospital, but 14 of them passed away or died.
6,700人ぐらいが65歳以上の人でした。
Okay, 6,700人ぐらいが So 6,700人 is going to be 6,700 people with our counter 人. ぐらい means about. So around 6,700 people が they're going to do something or be something. And 65歳以上. So once again, 以上 being or higher. 65歳. Sai is a counter for age. So 65 years of age or older. の人. Once again, we use this の to connect this to 人 and say that's what kind of person we're describing. So people that were over 65. And then でした. So around 6,700 of these people were people that were over the age of 65. So it's more common among older people, elderly people. Yeah.
エアコンを使って涼しくしてください。
Okay. エアコンを使って Aircon is the air conditioning coming from air conditioner or air conditioning. を we are going to mark this as our object. So there's going to be a verb doing something to our aircon, which is 使う, use. So to use an air conditioner, エアコンを使う. We put that in the te form because we're not done with our sentence yet. So エアコンを使って use your air conditioner and 涼しくしてください. So this is coming from our word 涼しい to be cool. And then if we take an e adjective, so the original form of the word is 涼しい, if we drop that e and add a ku with suru, that means we are making something into that adjective. So 涼しい is cool, 涼しくする is to make something cool, or in this case, make yourself cooler. And then we take that suru from kusuru and put it in the te form with kudasai to say please do it, right? So please use your air conditioner and make yourself cooler. エアコンを使って涼しくしてください。
喉が渇いていなくても水を飲んでください。
Okay. 喉. So 喉 is your throat. 喉が is our particle saying the throat is going to do something or be something, right? Our subject. And that verb is 乾く, which is to dry. Now, 喉が渇く is also a phrase. So it literally means when your throat gets dry. But that's a phrase meaning when you get thirsty. So 喉が渇く, to get thirsty. Then we're taking that and putting 渇く into the ている form again. 乾いている would be currently are thirsty. Then we're putting that in the negative. 乾いていない, which would mean currently are not thirsty. And then when we have that ない and we drop that e and add くても, that's how we put ない in the te form and add a mo. And then this ても is a grammar meaning even if. So, 喉が渇いてなくても, even if you are not thirsty. And once again, we use that ている form because you're currently in that state. So even if you're currently not thirsty, 水を飲んでください. So 水 is water. 水を it's our object. We're going to do a verb to it, which is 飲む, to drink. 飲む being put in the te form again. 飲んで and ください, please. So 飲んでください. So even if you are not thirsty, please drink water. 喉が渇いてなくても水を飲んでください。
外で仕事をするときは何回も休むようにしてください。
Okay, 外で so 外 means outside. で is our particle telling us our location where an action is going to happen. Outside would be 外で. 仕事 is work or labor. 仕事を we're going to do something to the labor and that is する to do. So 仕事をする when you work or do labor outside. 外で仕事をするとき. And 時 means time, so or when. So 仕事をするときは then that's being used with は as our main framework or topic here. So as far as when you are doing work outside, 何回も. So 回 we saw was our counter for times, number of times doing something. And now this grammar here we can do for any counter. Here we have nani or non, then the counter, and then mo. So when we use non-counter mo, this means a large number of times, many times. But this can also be any kind of counter. So For example, drink lots of beers. Beers, if we're talking about bottles of beers, those we count as hon. So we say 何本も飲んでください. I would not recommend to do that, particularly on hot days when your body isn't feeling so good. But we could say that. 何本も or 何回も or 何度も is another one. It's another one meaning times, like over and over again. 何度も何度も. But anyways, so a lot of times, 何度も or 何回も 休む, which is to take a break, and then ようにしてください. So I believe this was in our article yesterday as well. ようにする. If we have a phrase in front of ようにする, this is make it so that this happens. And then we have that する in the te form with ください once again, meaning please do this. So when you're telling someone that they should probably do something or you're giving them advice, you can use this phrase ようにしてください. Make sure that this happens, or make sure you do this, right? So all together, make sure that when you do work or labor outside, you take breaks lots of times. 何回も休むようにしてください. So for those of you who are in Japan, please take care. And actually not even in Japan, in the United States, at least where I am, we are also having some pretty intense heat and not a lot of rain. So please take care of yourself, drink your water, use your air conditioner, and yeah, 気をつけて. Thank you so much. If you have not yet, please like and subscribe. Always appreciated. I really appreciate the support these get, and I will plan on seeing you tomorrow for our last one of the week. またね.